Let me see here what is going on here. Well, okay, so we have a circle. This one is quite, I mean, it looks very
busy.
yeah, it does look busy. It does look busy. So with a question like this one, obviously your given information is super duper duper important. Like if you don't like make use of the information you're given, it's gonna be a mess. So how far did you get with this question?
I managed to do number 1.
Ooh. And then number 2 was where things started to
Number
go south.
2 is what, yeah, it's what caught me, because the coordinates of M, for me, you could use the midpoint of the form, but I don't have other
No.
coordinates unless you use the center of the circle, which I just see now.
Okay, anyway, so the fortunate thing is, let's see the question in the sketch alongside the equation of the circle. This is the equation of the circle. Can you see it's not in standard form? However,
Mm.
they said M is the center of the circle passing through these coordinates here, right? P,
Yeah.
R, Q is a, then says here R is a point on the y-axis, and P has these coordinates. I mean, yeah, P has these coordinates, and then they said PQ is the diameter of the circle. Yes,
Yeah.
and then it says AB is a, you can see that AB here. They said AB, CD, ERF, ERF, HQG, HQG are all tangents to the circle. Now, the important thing to note about this particular tangent, let's see here. They said here that AB is parallel to the y-axis, CD is parallel to the x-axis. This information is more for courtesy because they didn't even have to tell you. It's just something you would need to just know. Because with a circle, right? If you're gonna have a tangent, oh yeah, no, actually, they kind of do need to have said it because you can like assume that it's parallel, even if it looks like it. Okay, yeah. So I guess because they've told us that this is parallel to the y-axis and this is parallel to the x-axis, it's quite, oh, excuse me, it's quite important because automatically means that these meet at an angle of 90 degrees by default. You know, these have to meet at an angle of 90 because that's how the x-axis and the y-axis meet. They meet at an angle of 90. So with all that being given, you say the say show that a is negative 8. So how did you get a?
Yeah. I put the coordinates of P in X and Y.
Okay, so you say you took the coordinates of p, then you threw it into the equation that was given. Okay,
Yes.
perfect. So that one is straightforward. With
Yeah.
m though, which is question number 2, it's a similar idea. You just want to use your equation because remember, what you want to always think to yourself is any question, right? Before you like rule it out as maybe something to like leave, you can always just ask yourself things like here they're asking to determine m. Now the first thing you mentioned was that we can think of like the midpoint formula because m is in the middle of these 2 points. However, the other thing is that m is the center. So
Yeah.
that's what makes m special. So you would be thinking, but wait, as long if I could only just have this in standard form,
Then you
then
can
you would
use
have your
that.
center. Yeah. So do you know how to
Mm,
put the equation of a circle into standard form?
yes. Don't you have to use your completing the square formula?
Yes, you have to complete the square for the x's and for the y's. You just have to complete the square. So that's another thing we are going to get an opportunity to do. But the fortunate thing is everything that we are doing, including our previous question, like a lot of the stuff we're talking about, you can always find them in the analytical geometry playlist because
Yeah.
it's all gonna be streamlined and it's gonna be much easier for you to be able to remember these things. What is this thing doing now? Okay, so let's put this equation into standard form. Putting this equation into standard form, yeah, we have to be wrong. No, we don't. We just have to be careful. It's actually one of the easy things to do, but because there's like different steps, most people rule it out as something difficult. But you don't want to do that. So when you complete the square, this is all you do. The fortunate thing is this is already kind of simplified. You know, it's almost like dealing with two quadratic equations at the same time, because this one, the portion with the x, you deal with it on its own. Excuse me, the portion of the y, you deal with it on its own. Now, all you need to remember is to your equation, where the x is, right, you always look for this b value. And then what you do is you're going to...
You put it over 2.
Yeah, you're going to take your b value over 2, and then you square it. So you're going to add b over 2 squared for this. And then you do the same for the y. You see, for the y, its b value is like -8 here. So what you do for the y is you also just take the b value, you divide it by 2, and then you square it. You see, whatever the sign is in front here, you take it with. Because remember, a quadratic equation is always in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So this one, you can look at it as some kind of a quadratic equation where the b value is like -6. Same here, you can look at the b value as -8. Now the idea is you add your b values on both sides of the equation. So you added this b value here over 2 squared. You have to do the same on the other side. You see?
Yeah.
And then for the y, whatever you also added here, you have to do it on the other side as well. Over 2 squared. There we go. Yeah. So the fortunate thing is, remember, this you can simplify it to just a 3, but don't square. Just simplify what's in the brackets, but don't square it, because all you need is what's inside the bracket there. So same here, -4 squared. Here you can just put all this in the calculator, because this is going to be like 9 plus, I don't know why I'm doing it with my head, and I said put it all in the calculator. I think it's like 9 plus 16. It's like 24.
9 plus 4. And then, yeah.
Oh yeah, 9 plus 4, 9 plus 16, 25. What is it? What does this give us in the calculator?
And then
25. Yeah, 3 squared, 9, -4 squared, 16, 16 plus 9, 25.
25.
Now what we do is, for each of these, right, the one with the x, we take it on its own. The one with the y, we take it on its own, and then we have to factorize. So all we do is this x and the number in there, we put them together in the brackets, and we square it. Then here we do the exact same thing. These two, we take them together in brackets, and then we square it. You see, we've just factorized this into that, factorized this into that. Yeah. So that's...
will be -3 and 4.
Yep. The center, which is M, will be -3 and 4. You see, because it's just going to be the opposite of both of these two. And that's how we have gotten the center of our circle here, using the equation of a circle that was not given in standard form. Cool.
Cool.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Let's move on to the next question.